Hey guys, what is up? Ray Major here doing another World of Tanks 360 review. Today guys, we're going up to Tier 7 with the Comet on the British medium line. Let's go ahead and look at the packages. Stock this tank, you really shouldn't worry about because, well, that 75mm gun, while it is intimidating to probably take into Tier 7, have no fear. You can now get this package for free, which will give you a new engine and a new gun, at least a suitable gun. And that gun and engine, you get 650 horsepower. You come with a 15.38 rounds a minute, and by the way, this is the 75mm Vickers HV. This was on the Cromwell at Tier 6. The penetration is 145 millimeters a pen. You will have 135 average damage. The aim time is 2.29, and the accuracy is 0.36. Overall, I would say stock. The best way to think of this tank is it's basically kind of like a beefier Cromwell. Obviously not as quick. Can sometimes be a little tricky in that configuration. And here is where I was able to get the new tracks and the turret. Let's go ahead and look at the tracks. You'll get 36 degrees of traverse, and with the Comet Mark I turret, you have 111 millimeters of armor thickness, 63 in the side, and 57 in the rear. Your traverse speed is 46, and you have 380 meters of view range. Here we get to the final package, which will give you the gun, which you should be striving for, the 77mm, which is 15.38 rounds a minute, 148 pen, and 140 damage, 2.29 aim time, 0.34 to 0.43 accuracy. I have to say this tank, it's quite a good, interesting all-rounder to use. There really isn't much mystery to this tank. You play it like an all-rounder. I guess the best way to describe it is you would play it sort of like you would a T-20 on the American side, minus a 90mm gun, except you actually have armor. Originally, you know, you would have to have gone through the stock package, and I had a friend that went through this grind, and his sanity is questionable at this point because of what he had to endure. But I would have to say the grind on this tank really is not bad. Like I said, you start out here with the A36 package, and before I knew it, I was already onto the Comet package, and then of course I had the second Comet package, which gave me the 77mm gun. I'm going to go ahead and switch to some gameplay to show you guys what this tank is capable of. It's quite an interesting tank. I found it to be very enjoyable to use. It was just an excellent all-round tank. I'm going to go ahead and switch to some gameplay. I'll catch you guys back here in a moment. Okay guys, here we are on Lakeville. This was a Tier 9 match, and this was one of those matches, and I know right now you're sitting there thinking, oh wow, a Comet in a Tier 9 match, I bet you weren't too happy. I did alright in it. I didn't expect to do well, but I did fine. You'll see here with this tank, you're going to see a sample of how you probably, most of the time, you want to be playing this tank. You're not always going to be leading assaults. You will lead assaults. You will be making the pushes. But, you know, sometimes you're just going to be doing this. You're going to be helping your big guys out in the fight. Now, I go ahead and I turn, and I always go into the town. I just think that's a wise move. I think if you go into Death Valley on Lakeville, you know, a lot of the big guns are always going there. And, you know, the way I look at it in a medium tank, you're not meant to be running out there with a lot of armor. You're meant to be flanking. You're meant to be hitting people on the side and in the ass. So, I usually don't even try for Death Valley. So I go into town here. I get spotted almost as soon, right before I get into town. And I'm already panicking. I'm saying, what the hell spotted me? And I wasn't paying attention, so I go to make the right-hand corner. Didn't make it sharply, and you'll see there that the Comet isn't quite as nimble as you would expect. T-21 rounds the corner. I go ahead and hit him once. I think he might have been experiencing lag. That's why he didn't take any more shots at me. He misses his other shot. I hit him a third time, and I dodged a bullet big time on that one. You know, I mean, that guy had me dead to rights. I should have had at least 2 or 3 shots put in me. M46 Patton on my team. Ramming speed, whacks them good there, finishes them off, and I'm like, I'll take it, it's cool. So, I'm going to go ahead and get to the top here. We got an M46 Patton, 7-1, and a Pershing up here. And we're kind of gauging the situation. Oh, God, there we go. 4 tanks. It's 4-on-4, basically. And well, actually, it's 5-on-4. So I'm basically trying to get a flank here. I take a shot here at the IS. That's something I can fight with. I never thought I'd be saying, hey, I'm glad to see a tier 7 heavy. Oh, there's a tier 8. That's not good. Take a shot at the Tiger 2. I tried to hit his Lord Glacius. That didn't happen. So now I'm backing up. I don't really like the spot I'm in, so I was going to go down here. And that poor guy got one-shotted. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I really don't like my spot there. And as you can see there, once again, you'll see that the tank... you know, I haven't played with tier 7s a whole lot lately. I have been playing I did just start playing my Panther again today, but, you know, I'm still adjusting, you know, to the turning radius of these mediums. And the Comet just didn't take that corner too well. Now, the thing you're going to see here is what you don't want to do in the Comet. Now, I take a shot here at the Tiger 2, and I say, God damn it, how did I miss? And right there is where I should have stopped. I took 2 unnecessary hits here. I hit the M46 Patton. You get to see that the gun does perform well against a tier 9 medium at least. But that's what you don't want to do in a Comet. You don't want to be running up there taking unnecessary hits. Yes, this tank does have more armor than a T-20. And yes, you can go hull down and you can be an annoying tank unlike the T-20. However, you can't be taking hits from tier 9 tanks. Now, granted, that M46 Patton more than likely is either stock or he has a long 90mm gun. I still don't want to take a hit from him. I go ahead and take another shot at him. Really a risky shot, but I take it. And right now, my 2 teammates, the Patton and the 7-1, are being encircled. The 7-1 is begging for help. I say, God damn it, I gotta do something. So, I go ahead and I move up here. And I believe I put 1 shot into the Tiger 2. Let's see, I go ahead and round the corner, take a shot. You know, you're probably going to want to consider a vertical stabilizer for this tank. I do run coated optics, and I run a gun rammer. I run a gun rammer on all my medium tanks just because I want the rate of fire up there. I tried taking a shot here at the Patton. Yak Tiger hits him. I try hitting the T20 or the T28 again. 7-1 cleans it up. All is good. I run coated optics. I do run a medium caliber gun rammer, as I said earlier. I run it on all my mediums. I just want that rate of fire up there as high as possible. For the most part, when you're playing this tank, I have to say the aim time is not bad. So, I mean, don't look at those missed shots as typical of the Comet. It's usually pretty spot on. That was just one of those weird instances where I just, you know, the shots hit the ground. For the most part, you're kind of playing almost like the cavalry. You're acting as like a good damage multiplier. Now, here's a good example. Now, there is a little bit of lag here when I shoot this ISU, but just watch the DPM here. It's going to climb very quickly. There's the lag spike, and soon the ISU gets lit up. Put 1 shot in him, and here comes the final kill shot. I mean, this tank has very good DPM ability. It kind of reminds me almost like a tier 7 version of a T62. Obviously, you know, minus, you know, a lot of those tier 10 traits. But at its tier, the Comet is a DPM machine. It unloads quite a volley of lead. Here, the Yak Panther 2, we spot him, and the 7-1 hits him. But he doesn't seem to be too eager to want to get up there and take a hit, which I don't blame him. He's got quite a long reload. I'm trying desperately to put shots on this Yak Panther 2. I put 1 in him. Gonna go ahead and reload. 7-1 hits him again. I reload, and I go ahead and I cut him some slack. I kill the Yak Panther 2. 7-1 gives me the affirmative. You know, he doesn't have the greatest reload in the world, so he needs a little help. But this is what you want to do in the Comet. Now, you don't sit back, you don't hang back. This is no Panther, obviously. But this is a tank that kind of acts like the cavalry every once in a while. You kind of roll in, you know, with the T-29s, with the ISs, and you're rolling with their assault, and you're, you know, piling on damage. And this tank does have good pile-on ability. And as you're seeing, it's also an effective sniper. I'm going to put some shots here on this T-44, and you'll see how good the accuracy is. Once again, in terms of equipment, you could consider the vertical stabilizer, medium caliber gun rammer, And I run coated optics. There are other options. You could run a toolbox if you want to increase repair speed. Verdict on this tank, it's a good tank. I think it's a very excellent tank. It's a good all-rounder. I think it's probably the best all-rounder tank at tier 7. It's just flexible. You can't go wrong sniping. You can't go wrong fighting up close and brawling and assaulting with it. It's a good all-round tank. I feel like it's also a good passive scout. Alright guys, I'm actually going to go ahead and cut this gameplay short because it's coming to an end. And hopefully by next week I will have the Centurion 1 ready to review. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.